You know, for somebody who taught thousands of children in the elementary schools of American public education, who mobilized hundreds and hundreds of children systematically in a linear manner so that they could present themselves in front of a public audience. The entire student enrollment of a school building without a staff of assistants, just, pardon my retainers, I shouldn't say just. In one or two of the buildings where I worked, I did have teachers who helped run herd the night of the performance. We worked together the night of the performance, but the plan was mine. I made the plan alone, always, every year. Because in Pennsylvania, music education is not funded like it is in New York State, for example. There is almost never more than one teacher in a given level or in a given building. From the beginning of my career, I was just the only music teacher in a given building, whether it was the high school, the middle school, or the elementary pairings of two schools at a time. In the high school, I had the marching band, the choir, the chorus, the stage band, music appreciation, and a string ensemble. In the middle school, I had the choruses and the general music. And that's, I correct myself. And Gary Peterson had instrumental music in that building. For 6 months of my 25 years, I had a colleague in the building with me for 6 months. But for the remaining 24 and a half years, it was just me. And when I got into the elementaries, it was always kindergarten through 8th grade. So it was really middle by the time I was in my final 5 years. Now, why am I going on and on about all this? Because all I can think about right now, in the comfort of my warm home, are the people who are suffocating to death because their lungs are becoming solidified by immobilized mucus, which cannot be broken up and expectorated. And the nurses are giving them chest compressions to help them inhale and exhale in the remaining space at the very top of their lungs where they have just enough room to take in air and exhale air. That's so much worse than even somebody who only has 2 square inches left of a liver. This is the breathing apparatus. And these are people from all walks of life, from the dregs of poverty to the height of white-collar professionalism. They're all dying like this because there aren't enough ventilators where they are located. Even though trucks are driving the roads, distributing food and foodstuffs regularly, that hasn't stopped at all in the past month. But the machines that will keep them alive, and I know that there are millions being made, but there were ventilators that could have been gathered up and sent to the sites where the people had the most immediate need. They simply could have shipped them. And I say with the full authority of the 25 years I spent mobilizing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, about 1,000 a week, really, human beings of all ages, from 5 to 15, and sometimes and then I had a marching band. When I first started teaching, I had all the high school kids. I'd put them on a bus with equipment and take them, 40 minutes south of of town at night in the sleet. So I think I have some authority here. In fact, I know it. I would have found a way to get those ventilators mobilized and delivered to the sites of the most immediate need. And as soon as they were finished using them, move them to the next site of immediate need. Just like Governor Andrew Cuomo said days ago. How is that so hard to accomplish? And why was it so hard to accomplish? If an elementary school music teacher could make it a top priority, why in the world can't the leader of our country make it the same priority? The only answer to that is bureaucratic paperwork, compartmentalized departmental power grid. It's called jumping the shark. You just jump over it and you do what needs to be done. That's the definition of pragmatism. That's what a pragmatic person does. They figure out a way to expedite in a crisis. Unbelievable, isn't it? You call me simplistic? You call me histrionic and hysterical and too intense? Well, you just turn and you walk away then. And you take the memory of the deaths by suffocation with you. Because that's what you're doing when you walk away from somebody who is declaring what appears to be a very obvious solution that somehow was never enacted in time to save the people who have been dying every day. 3,000 people died on 9/11. 2,000 people died in 2 weeks by suffocation. I repeat, if one retired elementary music teacher can declare the first priority on the full authority of her own history as a professional, then the rest of America should speak up too, instead of just giving him a 47% approval rating because they're scared out of their minds and don't know what else to do. We still live in a country where free speech is part of the law. Let's not squander it just because we're afraid. Don't be afraid. Share this. Share this. Share this. Thank you.